All right, well, welcome to the AVANT studios. Today I have Jonathan Philipsen, also known as JP, here with me today. We're going to talk about Thrive and this exploding relationship, not only with our two companies, but this sector, which is on fire. You've been the channel chief for just under a year now, right?
That's correct.
Okay, you may not know, but 7 years ago is when the two companies started to work together. And I'm giving Thrive a lot of credit for helping us shape our security strategy. So 7 years ago, I'm not sure we knew what we were doing. We thought more MSP, a little less security. And over 3 years together, we honed in on a security strategy with Thrive. And 4 years ago, we launched AVANT's security practice. So we were the first to launch that, a lot because of your counsel and support. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
But what's really wild is this relationship is accelerating fast. So we have doubled the amount of revenue in the consecutive past 2 years. So 2x, then 2x, which is just fabulous. So not only is the relationship flourishing, I think, like I said earlier, the industry is on fire. Okay, so before we dive into any more, JP, will you give us a little background on yourself?
Absolutely, and thanks for having me, by the way. So I've been in technology sales literally since I graduated college, right? So I jumped feet first into it, right? I jumped in selling telecommunication services, morphed into managed services, then led a cloud service provider as the channel leader there prior to coming to Thrive. So I've been at this game since, I'm going to date myself, but a long time now. How about that?
Okay, so we both graduated college and never got out of tech. It kind
That's
of
true.
sucks you in, right? Especially this channel. But on that note, why did you choose to lead the channel? So you had some other roles previously, at least at Thrive.
Sure.
Why did you step into this role, and what do you think about the channel in general?
Absolutely, great question. So at the end of the day, I came here to Thrive. I'll back up just a little bit. I came to Thrive because I saw Thrive managing someone's end-to-end IT journey, right? If that's where they wanted to go. At the trusted advisor level, I saw a void, right? And this goes back 3 years ago. And at the time that I chose to come to Thrive, I realized I wanted to be in the clubhouse and I wanted to be at the best of breed partner, and that was Thrive, right? So 3 years ago, Rob Stevenson, myself, we collaborated, here I am. And then I chose to lead the channel because we are such hyper-focused on our channel partners, the trusted advisor community, and obviously folks like yourself. So it is just fantastic being in the seat.
So this channel conversation is always really interesting for me. Why did you choose to leverage the TSD TA channel? So there's a lot of big brands, like especially the legacy ones, Cisco and those that are traditional of our channel. But you guys have embraced the TSD TA channel. Why did you see opportunity there, and how big of opportunity do you think there is within that community?
Oh, it's unbelievable what the opportunity is. We believed in the TSD model because of all the services, the reinforcement of just collaboration that you offer to the TAs, and obviously that gets us closer to the end users, and obviously we're selling with the trusted advisors in this space, but the trusted advisors, quite frankly, are so much closer to the decisions, to the end users, and then ultimately the outcomes that the clients are expecting.
Okay, I would agree. I think the trusted advisors they're the best salespeople in the world. I think that's why companies like yours leverage that
100%.
and invest into that. Some new data that's come to light here is, it's not necessarily new, but we're growing this sector by 49%, which is the fastest growing sector at AVANT right now. Basically 50%. Our retention rates are the highest of any other product category, which is like really cool and really wild. And then when you look at like the NPS scoring for you specifically, and for those of you who don't know, AVANT has a really cool analytics division, and we started 5 years ago, and we're collecting real-time feedback from the field. And the field is ranking their experience with the vendors and their end clients. So we're the only place to get that information, which I think is really cool. And we looked at that today, and your score is 71, which is really high. It's in that range of Apple and Amazon. Why do you think your score's so good? Why do you think people are betting and saying great things about your firm?
A couple reasons. Number one, we do what we say. That's at the forefront of everything. So we do what we say. We back it up with great account management for the advisor community, and the end user experience we hold at an utmost high. So we want ultimately the end user experience in order for us not just to win a client, but also help a client, our trusted advisors, go sell multiple clients, if you will. So having that rinse and repeatable model and having the sales reinforcements both on the front pre-sale side as well as the account management and the virtual CIOs and the VCSOs that can help support your TA's end user clients.
Okay, that sounds to me like a really great elevator pitch. If I could nail that, I think I could get in front of some clients and make some deals go. Get a little more technical for me in terms of an elevator pitch. What are some of the things that you do that are different than everybody else? Kind of at that technical detail level, especially some of the people who are more engineering focused. What do they pull out of your service offering?
100%. So at the core of Thrive services, it's good to know who our ideal client profile is,
Okay.
right? And who that looks like is the sophisticated small to mid-sized business client, and we scale up to the mid-markets. And the reason why I say sophisticated small to mid-sized business, these are individuals that are either fueled by complexities or compliance. And
Yeah.
with that being said, those firms are looking to outsource multiple things when it comes to their technology needs, right? And it's not just EDR, MDR. So what makes us drastically different is we're not a point solution. We can be someone's all-in IT journey, which includes cloud, managed services, managed security, and obviously managed endpoints. However, if a trusted advisor would like for us to start out with something like a cyber risk assessment, to figure out what gaps are and how they can better position and posture their security stance, we will graciously do so. And then from there, we can start the journey.
Yeah, I think one of the reasons you've had success in this community is that you could come in and say, let's take a look at the environment. We can offer a lot of different options. We can manage those options. It's a perfect fit for mid-market, small biz, mid-market, right?
Absolutely.
Where I think maybe some legacy channel motions are point solutions, which is different. I think this community tries to solve problems for clients, not just plug holes. That's my guess, is that that's giving you an edge in the space. Would you agree?
That's a great assessment, and you're absolutely correct. So at the end of the day, the assessment is a blueprint, right? And from the blueprint, we can help fill in gaps. And oh, by the way, for the mid-market institutions that have in-house IT members, we want to show them that they're valuable to the business. So we're not here to take jobs per se. We're actually here to help them go work on the business while we're working in the business, if that makes sense.
It does, and I think you're not going to take jobs because there's so many open jobs.
Oh,
like people can't even find enough resources, support, and talent. You come in and support and augment that, and you're right, they can refocus on the business, which I think is a really great value prop, especially to this community. We understand that. That's what we've been doing for quite a while now. How is the insurance component driven some, I guess, growth, right? So I remember even when we've gone through trying to underwrite ourselves and get insurance, now we're asked that question, what's security strategy? What are you doing? Are you partaking in that? Is that an angle and an edge?
It's an angle and an edge, and I would say it's a positive and possibly seen as a negative. There's a lot of people that are out there checking boxes per se,
Okay.
but then there's also the same amount of individuals that are really looking at the business and looking at best practices in terms of how they protect it. Those are the clients that we want to run 100%, 100 miles an hour towards and help them, right? So cyber insurance specifically has definitely fueled both of our growths, I would say. If nothing else, it's creating more conversations in the marketplace for the trusted advisors and for folks like ourselves.
Yeah, I see it and hear it every day, so
Yeah.
that's driving growth. Do you have an example customer win or something? Like, can you give us something tangible we can hold on to or maybe repeat in the field?
Absolutely. So a couple things. When it comes to Thrive, one of the coolest experiences that I've been a part of, and I'll call it over the past 6 months. So newer client, think of a multiple state healthcare institution that came to us, and they were private equity backed, and the private equity institution was asking them to outsource as much IT as physically possible, right? And it was not to take away from any of their respective roles and goals. It was, how do we become better? That was the outcomes that they were looking for. They wanted to have a mature security posture. They wanted to have a very resilient cyber/cloud plan and strategy. So we outsourced 100% of all of their managed services, their cloud, their disaster recovery components, as well as 100% of the cybersecurity posture, playbook, everything. We clearly put it all together for them. And this is over I think I'm saying this correctly, a 14-state healthcare institution. So
Oh, wow.
pretty
Healthcare's
large.
not easy, right? They have high standards, a lot of governance in there. All right, when you gave me that example, I want to be careful I'm not painting you into the security only like bucket.
Yes.
It seems like you're doing a lot more than that. Although security is probably the most one of the most complex things, and like pretty easy pain to identify or have fear around.
Right.
But talk a little bit more about managing cloud, managing other environments. Just kind of draw that picture for me again.
Yeah, so we'll start with cloud, for example. So cloud has really gone from what we heard about years and years and years ago about this public cloud thing, right, to the private cloud movement. And now you got a blend of the multi-cloud, hybrid cloud concept, which is a reality. So Thrive provides both public as well as private cloud hosting experiences, of which we can completely manage for someone's end users. We also offer a whole host of security offerings, right, from outsourced, EDR, MDR, SOC, all the way through incident response. And then as far as managed services, as you can imagine, we are managing networks, end users, workstations, everything that's physically on site for a client or remote workers. So in a nutshell, Thrive does do a lot, and how we help the partners is we help them understand what good looks like and help them obviously find opportunities within the base, right?
Yep.
And from there, we will help with the narrative and control the conversation so we land on what good looks like.
Okay, so if I don't know anything and I put you in the game, you're going to probably find some pain and solve some problems.
That would be the goal.
Okay. All right, so, I mean, these days, no interview can be done without the AI question. And so I don't even want to ask you a leading question. I just want to ask you, how do we talk about AI when it comes to Thrive? What's the angle? What's the dialogue? How would you advise us?
That's a big two-letter word right now, AI, right? So at the end of the day, I would say it means different things for different people. People are leveraging artificial intelligence to do different things for their business, of which when it comes from a security standpoint, I think of governance. I think of what people want to, quote unquote, keep within the walls of their corporation,
Okay.
and what do they want to release external to the organization. However, Thrive, we've been using artificial intelligence for years to help with mean time to repair issues, enhancing our customer and client satisfaction surveys, right? So if we can help troubleshoot and leverage artificial intelligence by quickly getting to a good result for someone that's potentially having a not so great experience, that's where we want to go.
Okay. Last year at Special Forces, during my keynote, I made this comment that AI is creating this global upgrade effect. So as AI has been implemented, people need more network bandwidth, comms, cloud, everything like that. Part of the takeaway is AI being the universal cross-sell. I mean, you can go in and cross-sell everywhere. And so many of our trusted advisors have a lot of great customers. They have not taken AI into those clients. And so how do you look at that cross-sell opportunity, both in terms of maybe market share growth for all of us, but then maybe also like, how do you open that door? Like, what's the opening door commentary or pitch?
It's something that everybody is genuinely interested in right now. They want to understand it. They want to understand it. And by them having a conversation with what is your AI fill in the blank stance is, that will open up other doors for, to your point, network, cloud, network management, and the management of all things. So typically, the buzzwords that are in the marketplace all come back to something that, as an advisor, we can completely monetize on.
Okay. I've kind of threaded this question already, and it's kind of a basic question, but I want to ask it anyways, because if I'm new to the Trusted Advisor Gamer channel, I'm typically, or not even new, I could be senior. We see a lot of hesitation and fear around the security conversation. No one wants to get stumped or say, I can help you, then they ask 5 questions and they're like, have nothing to say back. So how do you get over that? Like, what's your recommendation on how they partner with you and maybe us together to have more confidence, to open that conversation, to cross-sell or even open up a new door?
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like learning to ride a bike, right? So once you do it, the training wheels come off, and then next thing you know, you're on your own 2 wheels and you're riding by yourself, right? So at the end of the day, I would advocate to every trusted advisor, number one, if you sold them network services in the past, what's on the other end of that? There's a firewall. Oh, by the way, that firewall is protecting a lot of institutions, correct?
Yep.
So with that being said, the next question is, how do we protect all of the data, all of the people, all of the things that everybody cares about and keeps a lot of IT people up at night. So what I would say is allow us to help the trusted advisors with the conversation, and we can help identify what ultimately good looks like, so we do not waste their time and ultimately the end user's time.
Okay. As a channel chief, I like to ask, how would you recommend us spend money and invest? And so I think you have an understanding of our team and the talent level. What do you think of it? And then where would I spend the next dollar to help us both be successful in this space? Like specifically within like this channel 2-tier distribution model that we live in.
Well, I think obviously you all are doing a phenomenal job at it right now. You provide impeccable resources and research back to the trusted advisors to make them smart, make them agile, making them be able to transact in a frictionless engagement, as I'll call it, which quite frankly, I would say continue those R&D efforts. So if you had to spend money, continue to go down that research and development path, providing value adds back to the trusted advisor community to help them win fast, early, often, and all the time.
Okay. How do you feel about engineering resources? I think we've got a couple of the most talented people in the business. My goal for them is to help the TA look amazing, but then to bring deals too that are fully baked, because disqualifying and grinding through bad leads is costly for both of us. And so would you continue that effort? Like, for me, I push them to get certified. I want them to know as much about your products as your own people do. Mm-hmm. Would you continue leaning in that direction?
Oh, 100%. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, it helps you, it helps the TA, it helps us, because by the time that we're engaged, the opportunities have been vetted. We've verified that it is a logical next move for them to have the conversation. And we're not here to waste anybody's time. Your trusted advisors, you all, and your resources, yes. So whatever the investment strategy is behind the architects, the solution architects, engineers, continue.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, one last question for you. If there's one thing you want us to take away, like one thing you want the trusted advisor community to know, it can be more than one thing, but what's the one message you want to have it sink in like tomorrow morning when they wake up and they're ready to rock and roll? What would you leave them with?
Yeah, when everybody gets up and they're ready to rock and roll per se, I want everybody to think of Thrive as a channel-focused organization that wants to help the trusted advisor community 100% win in that sophisticated small to mid-sized business space, as well as scale up market, where we can serve the needs for their cyber strategy, their managed services, their cloud posture, the management of that, regardless whether that's a public or a private cloud experience, right? So, and then, and to take it one step farther, if it starts with just leveraging us for an assessment, we will do that. And with that becomes that land and expand functionality where we can help a trusted advisor, obviously land in an account, we'll grow that over time with them. And obviously when the account grows, the commissions grow, correct?
Yeah, the commissions grow. That's what everybody wants to hear.
That's right.
So JP, in 2025, right now, you are our #1 security provider in the portfolio. So congratulations, you're doing something great.
Thank you.
The growth has been tremendous. We have a lot of options in the portfolio. We need a robust portfolio. But I do agree, if you're going to step in and start to understand this space and work with someone who can provide the managed whole ecosystem and layer and help in that conversation, you guys do a really great job.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it. And also Thrive, picking channel first is a big deal. You guys are a big player now. You're only going to continue to be big. The brand's going to get out in front of the end client, and we want to draft behind that. And I think that will lead to a lot of success. So thanks for leveraging the channel, trusting all of us with your growth and success, and backing AVANT. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.